Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we are the three best office blokes in the office.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll
Prove
go
us
for that.
wrong.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah. So the YouTube channels, we like to try stuff. We like to talk about stuff, as you may have noticed by now. Patreon page, social media, merch, all that good stuff. Click the link in the description. It'll take you everywhere you need to go. We've just done the top 10 worst states to live in America for 2021.
We have.
For balance, it's only fair that we do the top 10 best states. And then after that, we're going to do the top 34 middle states to live in America. There is 54, isn't there?
Cover all bases.
49.
49.
You know?
Oh, because the movie, yeah, right. Yeah. No, there's 50. There's 50, yeah, because that movie, The 51st State, where they're saying the UK. Yeah. That joke could have been executed much better if I used my brain. Right. Top 10 best states to live in America for 2021. Should we do it?
Go on.
What would you rate your state? If you think it's great and we give it a 10 out of 10, then let's see if it made the top 10, which we ranked based on each state's economy, safety, cost of living, education, health, and quality of life. Now, of course, there are both incredible and terrible places to live in pretty much every state. So if your state didn't make the cut this year, that doesn't mean it sucks. Well, unless it made our top 10 worst states for 2021. But hey, at least it's never too late to relocate to one of the top 10 best states to live in for 2021. And let's hit 10,000 likes for a video where I rank all 50 states.
Are we going for a guess on the best one here? Or we're not?
I'm thinking best would be...
Texas is going to be up there because remember when we did the Could Texas Be Its Own Country? And like the GDP of
Got a huge
Texas
economy
was,
itself,
the
hasn't it?
economy
Yeah.
was ridiculous.
I'm going to go
wasn't it?
with Connecticut.
Ooh.
Another one that I know nothing about. And I'm going to say Texas is up there. California number 1, Texas number 2.
I'm going Connecticut number 1.
Right.
I'm going to go Hawaii.
Ooh.
Don't know why. It just sprang to mind.
It's just
I've
because
no
it
idea
seems
why,
like
but
paradise, doesn't it?
It does,
That's why.
yeah.
It's probably not. I wouldn't mind betting there's some metrics it doesn't score high on.
Yeah.
But
I think because of the economy-wise, I think that might be a bit of a downer. It's just, I don't know. Who knows?
we'll find out, won't we?
Let's have a look.
Number 10. Actually, let's hit the brakes for a quick honorable mention. Florida.
Wait, what? How? Isn't Florida just a place for retirees and annoying tourists?
And sure, Florida is the second most visited state, and there are a lot of retirees. But the warm weather, booming job market, and affordable cost of living with a median home value of just $282,000, in addition to there being no state income tax, have really helped turn the state from an attraction to an attractive place to live. The schools are among the best in the nation. There's incredible history. The infrastructure is top notch, and there are so many amazing and diverse cities and towns offering something for every type of lifestyle. Not to mention, the air and water quality is the 5th best of any state, making it so easy to enjoy the beautiful beaches, forests, springs, and parks. But while the economy certainly is growing, with plenty of young professionals and entrepreneurs moving to the cities, the median household income is still just $59,200, which is the main reason Florida didn't make the actual list. Wages did increase by nearly 5% last year, however, so hopefully they continue to improve.
Looked great though, didn't it? All that footage was just, I could see myself there straight away.
You'll be there stood on the corner spinning a sign. Dressed as Spider-Man.
You well overestimate my skill level.
On your skateboard.
Actual number 10. Hawaii. While Florida is filled with beautiful beaches and vacation vibes, Hawaii has debatably even prettier beaches and a vacation lifestyle. Of course, it also comes with a much higher price tag, however, considering Hawaii is the most expensive state with the median home value at a whopping $708,000, in addition to most everyday goods being costlier as well.
Wow.
I got a mate who lives in Hawaii.
Oh, have you?
Keith Verrier.
Very nice.
It just looks stunning. It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Have you ever
it looks
been?
good.
No. Miles away, mate.
Oh, no, it's miles away. It's miles away from America.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's on my list of places to go.
I keep telling Keith I'm going to come over. Keith's threatening to come over.
Yeah.
Ask any local, and they tell you that this little slice of paradise is well worth the cost, especially since materialism and wealth aren't a priority here, and the most valuable things, time, ohana, and the spirit of aloha, can't be bought. This more relaxed lifestyle and the gorgeous surrounding nature have resulted in Hawaii being the least stressed state with the happiest, healthiest, and longest living residents. Although having the best healthcare access and quality in the nation, as well as the best air and water quality, certainly doesn't hurt. And despite, or perhaps because time, health, and happiness are valued over money, Hawaii actually has the second best economic opportunity of any state and the fourth highest median household income at $83,100. So most people are doing just fine, even with the high cost of living, as the poverty rate of only 9.3% is the sixth lowest in the country. Number 9,
cool.
Virginia. Home to the first ever permanent British colony, Virginia is one of the most historic states in this nation. From Jamestown to colonial Williamsburg to being the place where the Revolutionary War ended and many Civil War battles occurred, there are so many historic sites, monuments, and towns, all nestled in the serene backdrop of breathtaking mountains, forests, and beaches. But all that violence and war is long in Virginia's past, as it's currently the fifth safest state with a violent crime rate 45% below the national average, making it a great place to raise a family, especially when you tack on the fact that Old Dominion has some of the best suburbs in the country and offers incredible public schools. In fact, Virginia is actually the sixth most educated state, with 48% of the workforce possessing an associate degree or higher, which makes sense considering all the great job opportunities, particularly in the DC area. The median household income is an incredible $76,500, and Virginia was ranked as the #1 state for doing business, in addition to being the second most small business friendly state. Add in an affordable median home cost of just $319 grand, and Virginia is one of the best places to live and save money, with a poverty rate of just 9.9%.
With Virginia, when we lived in New Jersey, we used to drive down to Jamestown and Williamsburg, and they used to have little shops that sold English stuff.
Oh, really?
You couldn't get anywhere else than obviously internet days when you can order it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we used to drive down there and spend a few days down there.
Yeah.
When you say English stuff, is it like trinkets or is it like real bacon?
You had both and stuff like that.
Real bacon.
But you had both. You had the trinket shops, nice little sort of like souvenir sort of style places where you get all like old English stuff. So then you'd be able to get like a jar of like kind of iron brew,
real
Danish
bacon,
Scottish iron brew. Yeah, real Danish bacon. So there's still quite, even though there's so much history with the Brits in Virginia, it's quite a positive response to the Brits.
Williamsburg's really, really nice.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, looks good up there. Looks really nice.
Yeah, it is.
Number 8, Nebraska.
Nebraska? Isn't that like the most boring state? What am I gonna do there? Husk corn?
Well, maybe. I mean, it is the Cornhusker state after all. But corniness aside, while Nebraska certainly isn't winning any most beautiful or exciting state awards anytime soon, the quiet lifestyle keeps the crime rates low and the median home cost even lower at just $200,000. And with plenty of great job opportunities, the lowest unemployment rate of any state at just 2.9%, and a median household income of $63,400 that continues to grow by 4.3% each year, it makes sense that Nebraskans are incredibly content and rarely experience any stress. But Nebraska isn't just a great state to make and save money. It's also one of the best places to raise a family. The public schooling system is the 9th best of any state, the overall infrastructure is 6th best, and the air and water quality are the 6th highest. Not to mention, Nebraskans are some of the most kind and genuine people you will ever meet. And although 92% of the state is farmland, it isn't all boring here, especially in the hip college town of Lincoln or the bustling city of Omaha, where you'll find plenty of fun and free museums, green spaces and parks, amazing food, and the best zoo in the entire country.
That's an interesting one, because it's not somewhere, again, I know anything about.
No, I've never been to Nebraska. It looks pretty cool, though, doesn't it?
It does. It looks nice,
right, doesn't it?
In this, like the chasm between the actual space between the ones at the bottom of the list, the worst places, and these, in terms of unemployment average wage, house prices. It's that ridiculous, isn't it? The difference between them.
Yeah.
They're different countries. That's what I've thought with some of the other stuff we've watched. It's not states, it's like different countries because the economies are completely different.
Yeah.
Well, they're run individually, aren't they? Independently. But yeah, it's I quite like the look of Nebraska.
It looked good, doesn't it?
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
7. Colorado. While Colorado's eastern plains are just as plain as Nebraska, the western half more than makes up for it with 58 14,000-foot peaks and so much other gorgeous and diverse nature from sand dunes to canyons to Garden of the Gods. And most Coloradans take full advantage of this outdoor lover's paradise and hike, bike, kayak, ski, or rock climb regularly. Combine this with the 5th best healthcare quality of any state, and it's no surprise that Colorado's the 2nd healthiest state with the lowest obesity rate, even with all the good beer and amazing local restaurants of the Denver area. But the main reason the Centennial State has the 5th highest quality of life is the booming economy, which was actually the 4th fastest growing and 2nd best economy overall in 2020. There are so many great jobs here, leading to a median household income of $77,200. And since Colorado's also the 4th best state for business, as well as the 2nd most educated state with the 5th best public schools and 51.1% of residents having at least an associate degree, more and more companies are moving here, which are creating even more good job opportunities. So yes, while Colorado isn't cheap with a median home value of $467,000, wages are more than keeping up with the cost as they're increasing by 5.3% annually, and the poverty rate is just 9.3%. No.
That looked nice. It looked really good, didn't it?
Everything there, hasn't it? You know, sort of like mountains and
just everything,
all sorts, isn't it?
We're going there on our trip to America.
Oh yeah,
Got friends in
Part of
Denver.
it. Oh yeah.
I wonder if there's any correlation with Colorado being one of the early adopters of legalizing weed. You know, when they said the economy's through the roof. Because what I always heard, and I'm being serious when I say it, is at one point after it was legalized, they started giving tax money back to people because there was that much in the pot.
Yeah.
People were getting rebates because like the tax money was going on hospitals, schools, infrastructure and stuff, and there was just loads left over.
Right. Wow.
So that's why I was saying they should do it in this country and just get that good tax money and
Get
pay
the
the
tax money
COVID relief bill back and all that sort of stuff.
Why not?
Number 6, Idaho. Most people outside of Idaho hardly even knew it existed just a few years ago, but this hidden gem state isn't so hidden anymore, as it's actually been the fastest growing state for each of the past 5 years. And although most people now know that it's an amazing place to live, especially since the capital, Boise, is consistently rated as the best city in this country, the rest of the state...
Could you live somewhere called Boise?
Boise, I know.
No,
it's
but
just, only fools know. I mean, it just springs to mind every time, won't they?
Marlene.
I've heard. I'm sure I've heard Bill Burr talk about it.
Yeah, I think.
What does he say? Boise.
It's Boise, yeah.
Yeah.
Boise. All right.
Boise, I think it's spelled.
Yeah.
Like that.
Maybe he's talked about a comedy club that was there, or one of his bits he's talked about it, or something. But it rings a bell.
Well, I read an article. I'm pretty sure it was Idaho, where a lot of the football and basketball players were buying residence there.
Yeah.
And it was, it was turning into like a real popular sort of like state to go to.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's saying it's classed as the best city in the country as well.
I don't know, is that what he said?
I think that's what he said, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, again, some of these places you wouldn't think of as a mainstream
Not at
visiting
all.
spot, would you?
No.
Got some of them on the bottom list were places that I knew nothing about, and the same with this.
Yeah.
Maybe I just know nothing about most of it.
No, Las Vegas. The strip and the hookers on the cards.
Exactly.
It's not the hookers handing out the cards.
That's his input.
is often overlooked despite being home to so much beautiful untouched nature and many charming small cities and towns. And that's a shame because Idaho is basically the American dream. Small business thrives here, it's the third safest state, and the people are so darn friendly. Of course though, since it's one of the cheapest states out west, tons of Californians have moved here in recent years, making it not so cheap anymore, with the median home cost increasing by 25% in 2020 to $378,000. But while historically wages haven't kept up with the cost of living with a median household income of just $61,000, Idaho's economy is now the fastest growing and third best overall, with wages increasing by a whopping 7.8% just this past year. Number 5, Washington. Idaho's dry, rocky landscapes and plentiful potatoes are contrasted by the lush greenery and lack of a potato legacy in Washington. Although, fun fact, Washington actually produces the world's highest potato yield per acre according to potatoes.com. Anyways, the evergreen...
We can't gloss over potatoes.com. What do you think that's on there?
Potatoes.
It is one of the most beautiful and biologically diverse states, with places like the Hoh Rainforest and Cascades National Park perfectly juxtaposing the moody coastline and otherworldly scablands and desert canyons. But Washington didn't just make this list due to its sheer beauty. The state is also an economic juggernaut, especially in the Seattle area, where the median household income is over $100,000. The Evergreen State has the second fastest growing and fourth best economy overall, and the median household income of $79,000 statewide is the sixth highest in the country. So while sure, the median home cost of $497,000 isn't necessarily cheap, it also isn't too bad considering that Washington's also home to the highest minimum wage in the nation, and there's no state income tax, which helps explain why the poverty rate is so low at just 9.8%. Add in the third best infrastructure, eighth best healthcare, and fourth best education system of any state, and it's no surprise that Washington has the fourth highest quality of life in the US.
Just a quick one. You know when say there's no tax?
No state.
No
tax.
tax. What does that mean on your wages? So when you get your wages, you don't pay tax on it?
You pay national income tax, probably. You have state and national, I guess.
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
That was one of the things he said about Joe Rogan moving to Texas, because he reportedly got paid $100 million by Spotify.
Yeah.
He would have lost $10 million of that in federal tax.
Federal tax.
Yeah.
Because he was in California.
Yeah.
And moved to Texas where there wasn't the federal tax to pay. So basically, he could have just gone and bought himself a house for $10 million, and it would have cost him nothing.
Wow.
Just because he's moved there and he's saved that in tax. It's crazy, isn't it? That you got that disparity. You love the tax, man.
4, Minnesota.
Let him out the boot of your car then if you want.
I've got two of them in there now.
He's got company, he'll be alright.
Someone come looking for the first one.
Whether it's ice fishing in the quiet cold or boating on one of the 11,842 lakes to cool off from the humid heat, Minnesotans somehow romanticize both the frigid winters and mosquito-filled summers and always remain optimistic as they're the third happiest residents of any state. And if you've ever spent time in the land of 10,000 lakes, you'd see why. Minnesota is one of the safest states in the nation, which makes sense as most of the people here are the type to say, "Oh, sorry," even if you're the one that bumped into them. The economy is also thriving.
Just like
England.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like little England. Sorry, mate. It's like, even though you're in the wrong.
He's done it, haven't done anything.
With tons of Fortune 500 companies in the Twin Cities, making it the third best state for economic opportunity and a great place to start your career. Entry-level jobs pay well above what they would in other states, and the median household income of $74,600 grows by 4.2% annually. Add in a median home cost of just $291,000 and the third lowest poverty rate at only 9%, and Minnesota is one of the best states to live and save money and raise a family. Especially since there's so much to do with great farm-to-table restaurants, tons of art, culture, and festivals in the Twin Cities, and jaw-dropping scenery every which way.
Another one that looks cool.
Sounds
Minnesota.
good again,
I was
doesn't
just
it?
thinking that.
Just
It's
a bit.
absolutely sold it to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking that I'd love to be over there.
See, certainly for us, obviously, you've lived over there, but like me, you just think Las Vegas, New York, California, San Francisco. That's pretty much all you think about a lot of the time, isn't it? But you look at some of these other places, look amazing, don't they?
Yeah.
Really nice.
Well, when I relocated from New Jersey to Texas, I drove.
Yeah, I remember you
right.
saying.
So, so I drove all the way through, all
Yeah.
the different states. Well, they didn't go like Minnesota because otherwise
Yeah.
I'm fucking well off track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so you've seen a
A
lot
lot
of
of
it.
states,
Yeah.
We took
Yeah.
our time and drove down there.
Yeah, good idea.
Number 3, Utah. While Minnesota has the third lowest poverty rate, Utah has the second lowest at just 8.9%, in large part due to it also having the best economy in the country. So many tech companies and startups are moving to Lehi and the greater Salt Lake and Provo-Orem areas, which has helped Utah become the fourth best state for economic opportunity.
The only thing I know about Utah
Mormons.
is Mormons. Yeah, that's
That's
literally.
where they're based.
yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
A median household income of 76 grand and the lowest unemployment rate at just 2.9%. And since Utah's the third best state for business, as well as the second best state to start a business, the economy, which is the second fastest growing, shows no signs of slowing down. And neither does the population growth of 18.4% over the past decade, making it the fastest growing state since 2010. But it's not just young professionals who are moving here. Utah is also one of the best states for families, as it's the 8th safest state, and it has the 3rd best healthcare quality, 5th best infrastructure, and 10th best education system in the US. Sure, it isn't exactly cheap anymore, with a median home value around 430 grand, but considering the breathtaking nature, hip culture in Salt Lake City, and the fact that Utah has the second highest quality of life, I'd say it's more than a bargain. Number 2, Massachusetts. Good old Mass.
That was going to be my first guess.
Oh, was it?
I went with Connecticut, but Massachusetts was going to be my first.
Yeah.
But I changed.
I thought it's a cold, tough place to live. That's where Boston is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, but you go to is it Cape
Verde? God.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, aka my home state. But while I always knew it was a great place to live, it honestly even surprised me that the Bay State is a
Can't get a good cup of tea though, can you?
Cape Cod. You go on the Cape and all around there, it's beautiful.
Right. I did say Cape Cod.
Yeah.
I was just
That's
throwing
why I
out
said
Cape
I did
things.
say yeah.
the top 5 in literally every category that matters. It's the 4th safest state, has the 3rd highest quality of life, 2nd best healthcare system, lowest uninsured rate of just 3%, 4th best air and water quality, 5th highest life expectancy, 5th best economy, the best business environment, and consistently ranks as having the number 1 education system for both K-12 and higher education. So it should come as no surprise that Massachusetts also has the most educated workforce, with 52.4% having at least an associate degree, especially since there's an abundance of incredible job opportunities, resulting in the 2nd highest median household income of $86,000, which continues to increase by a staggering 5.6% each year. So while the median home cost of 497 grand and its nickname Taxachusetts might make you think it's super expensive, the poverty rate is actually only 9.4%, and most residents would agree that the wide array of cultural and historic attractions, gorgeous nature, and big city amenities of Boston are well worth the cost. Now, before we get to number 1, make sure you leave out
Boston's ace.
Is it?
It looks
When you go to New York, try and take in Boston as well.
Really? All right, okay.
architecturally, when it was going through the sort of more built up bit about a minute ago, it looked familiar. If you know what I mean, a lot of the architecture looks familiar.
You've probably seen it on
with you there,
films or TV shows.
No, I'm thinking if that's on that coast, that's where there was a lot of British settlers hundreds of years, a couple of hundred years ago.
You think in reincarnation, you come back as you were once like.
I'm thinking the same people who built our country were building some of these buildings.
Same architects and stuff.
Yeah, or built in a similar style, like
Yeah.
you get the sort of mock
Could well
Tudor
be.
style over here.
Yeah, I'm sure some of the older buildings are, aren't they? I'm sure they must have got a lot of influence from like English, British architects and people that came over from here.
It looked nice,
Must have
though.
done.
Could
Yeah,
see himself there as
Boston's
well.
ace, mate. You'll love Boston.
Really?
Yeah.
How far is it from New York then?
You do it about 4 hours.
Is it?
5 hours
Right,
to
okay.
drive.
Yeah,
But you can get a train or you can fly up.
yeah. All right, maybe look into
Do
that
it.
then. Yeah.
like and subscribe, because if this video hits 10,000 likes, I'll make a list ranking all 50 states, and comment what you think the best state is. But without further ado, number 1, New Hampshire. Surprise, surprise, the Granite State is back on top. Because, well, it rocks. Sure, New Hampshire's small with no big cities and a population of only 1.38 million, but it more than makes up for it with enchanting untouched nature and quaint historic towns like Portsmouth, Concord, Nashua, and Hanover. It's also by far the safest state, has the 4th best public schools, and is the best state for economic opportunity. The median household income is a whopping 78 grand, the unemployment rate is just 3%, 4%, and since the granite state also has no state income or sales tax, the poverty rate is the lowest in the nation at only 7.3%. New Hampshire has just about every good statistic a state can have, including the highest quality of life, and that's why it's the best state to live in for 2021.
So we're all wrong.
Nice. Yeah.
It was close. Next door.
Next door. Oh, some nice places there.
I was on the right street.
Nice.
Again, though, New Hampshire's one of those places that I know nothing about. You just
Love
don't,
it.
you don't
Yeah.
hear anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then so upstate New York, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and all that. We used to do our weekend breaks away.
I've heard of Maine before. Is that
Maine's a state.
Is it?
But where is it that everyone goes for autumn, for like the leaves falling down?
That's up there. It's called the New England area.
That,
so
is
New
it that
Hampshire,
sort of
yeah,
area?
yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of tourism as
One
well.
of them, I had a photograph taken in front of Ball Mountain.
Ball
I don't know
Mountain.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in New Hampshire. It's up that way.
Canal Street.
Yeah, pretty cool. But it was up that way. Yeah, so
There's definitely a few enticing places on that
Oh,
list that I've
definitely,
seen.
yeah.
That I'd be like, I'd be quite happy there.
Yeah, there's a few of them I like look off, especially like something like Colorado. Some of the views and some of the countryside, and absolutely amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really is. All the mountains
It's mad
and
because
everything.
we only really hear about things through popular culture. Like I hear
Yeah.
about Philadelphia because of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. New York because it's so ingrained in so many TV shows.
Yeah,
and
of course.
so much culture. But a lot of like New Hampshire, there's just nothing. There's not like a program we watch where it's based in New Hampshire
Yeah.
or there's nothing
yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Watch them two lads that go around in a van getting all the antiques and stuff like. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh God.
But they go through some like states
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
I can't remember what it's called
It's
now.
all staged that.
Yeah, of course it is.
Restoration. No, not restoration.
I know what you mean. I can't think what it is now.
There's two guys in a van.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
have the girl on the phone, and she phones them and tells them to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember what it's called.
It's nonsense. They were both TV producers before they started doing
Yeah,
it.
but you see, what I'm saying is you see a lot of the
You're
country. They travel the country going around looking at different
Yeah,
places.
It's
you know
great
what I
to
mean?
see all different things. And
You know what? Even though with things like that, I'm dubious of them, storage wars, porn stars, all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I love watching it.
Yeah.
They're great
Yeah.
programs to watch.
But like I said before, best thing to do in America is land at a spot like New York, say for example.
Yeah.
Hire a car and then book somewhere as you go,
Yeah,
and just start driving.
yeah.
No matter which way you go,
Yeah.
just start driving.
Yeah.
my mum's done that a
And
couple of
then
times.
then you end up where you are, and then
Yeah.
you book a hotel, jump in a hotel, and then the next day go out driving and drive somewhere else.
Yeah, just have a loose plan, just
Yep.
a bit of an area, go for it. That'd be great. Something like I'd love to do it for like a couple of months or
Yeah.
something.
Well,
You know, go on a
it took
massive
us 2
trip or
weeks.
something.
We took
Great.
2 weeks to go from New Jersey to Texas.
Yeah.
And we just sort of like took every day, we just got out and drove and then went somewhere different. It didn't matter which way we were going as long as we were heading in that sort of like general direction.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sort of thing. But we stayed in some great places.
I think that's how
great
you
way to do
really.
it.
That's how you see a place, isn't it? Because I, as long as you're going in the right direction, I don't mind getting lost when I'm going somewhere because it's a bit of an adventure.
Well, you're not
Yeah.
going anywhere, so you're not going to get lost.
Yeah,
exactly.
true.
Yeah, it's great travelling like that
Yeah.
because otherwise, in your head before you go, you get preconceptions of just going New York, just California,
Yeah.
don't you? But if you do that, just go right, we're going in that direction. Yeah, what a great idea! Got a great way to do it.
No, book somewhere you never even thought of going. You know, I'm going to book a flight from, I don't know, LaGuardia in New York and go to New Hampshire
Yeah,
somewhere and, you know, and then get a car and start driving around New England.
yeah. Why not? That sounds like a great idea. There's some amazing places over there, aren't there?
Yeah.
Amazing.
What's that program called? That's right. It's driving me
We're
absolutely
going to have to
mad.
Google it after this, aren't we?
Is it something Hunters?
Antiques Hunt? No.
Let us know in the comment section, but we will be Googling it as soon as it finishes. So
I enjoyed that again.
it was really good, yeah.
Yeah,
Hope you
brilliant.
guys like that too. Don't forget like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers,
Cheers.
guys.